I think that the biggest thing with him, or I know that the biggest thing with him is that having that maturation process and then the experience that he's gained, from that last season going into this season. He is one of the toughest players on our team. He gets guys lined up. He's involved with a lot of tackles and just does a great job just running the defense along with, our linebackers are defensive is a linebacker defense in terms of the calls, but you have to communicate with the safety. And Anthony does a great job disseminating the information to the corners and playing the leverage and playing the coverages that are called for. And very proud of the way he's playing, and we need him to continue to playing well for us. I know Dabo Swinney personally, and I know he's a strong man of character and faith. I know he believes in recruiting the right type of young man. I know he believes in the process of how you build a team. And I believe the same things, very similar in that approach. And I know that it takes a couple good recruiting classes, and it takes some standout players to really step out to the forefront and play and produce, and sticking to the process of that. So he's done a great job there of being who he is, and as you said, setting a template as far as what they are and what they do. And I'm excited about the opportunity as well, is through facilities, through recruiting, through all those things, through staffs, is to build a program that should win and is one that the fans and people can be proud of in terms of supporting. You see a lot of carryover in terms of other teams that they play or common opponents. And it's been quite a while since I personally have had a chance to see them play in person. But there's a lot of there's a lot of guys on our team that know a lot of players on their team because of the regional recruiting flavor. Obviously Taj Boyd being a Phoebus Phantom product, and a few guys in our team down from the Tidewater area knowing him. So there's a lot of familiarity from guys on our team knowing players on their team, knowing particular players on their team. But, again, they come in as a highly rated football team, one of the top teams in the ACC. And, again, a tremendous challenge for us, but then one of the challenges that we embrace because we're at home and we get a chance to have a really good team come in here and play the Cavaliers. I tell you, they are very fast. Sammy Watkins, there's a lot of things a lot of players, a lot of things that they do to accentuate the athleticism of their players. And again, it's another scheme and system that's been employed for a while with a veteran quarterback that you'll always see there's some commonality with the speed of the game in which they play, also having some athletic people receiving the ball or running the ball. And I would say I wouldn't say they're as fast as Oregon, but they're comparable in terms of the athletic skill and what their offense allows them to do with those players. Well, I tell you, you watch the games that they play, and you see a lot of production. And that was asked before. Here's a veteran quarterback that's running a style of offense that highlights the athleticism of their receivers, Watkins, of the running back, McDowell, Humphreys, and they just do a tremendous job with that. Taj, I've known him, for a long time, coming out of Phoebus High School, and he's a very mature, very focused, and now, one of the leaders, on that Clemson team. And, you hear Coach Swinney talk about Taj and those leadership capabilities. It's no wonder that that they're playing well because he's one of the main focal points of that team. And then as he plays, the rest of the team plays. So very dynamic, exciting offense, Jerry. They capitalize on the vertical speed that they have with Watkins and some other players, and then Taj being able to run the ball and throw the ball with accuracy has been something that's made them a serious weapon to contend with. I would say during the week of practice, Tim had his best week of practice. And, Darius kind of moved him to the inside receiver, kind of the slot receiver instead of, the X or the Z. He's become more accustomed to being the inside guy. And during the course of the game, Darius made some catches, which required him to keep playing. As I said, Tim had his best week of practice, very focused, and it wasn't surprising that some of the catches and things that he did, some of the blocks, that he had out there on film was indicative of the work ethic during the week. And the question was asked about that's how we must continue to get better as a team. Is you can't feel complacent. You can't feel that you just you're playing because what are you playing for? You got to find a reason why you're playing. And those two decided that they were going to turn up their efforts and their energies, and the game reflected that. And now they're the model of it, and we want other guys to follow up with that as well. It wasn't Eric's best game, but it was a game that he was very competitive in. I mean, obviously, Atachu is a seasoned veteran player, and so you try to do some things with Eric. Perhaps try to have a fullback chip and block, help those type of things, and it's a learning curve. I mean, he's getting the best type of rushers that are out there. Their inside moves, their spin moves, their speed moves, and for a true freshman, I mean, he's doing a nice job. He's going to be a great player before he leaves here, but you want the here and now in a game to happen for you, and we'll keep trying to find ways to help Eric. And sometimes Eric does it on his own because there were a couple blocks that he did an outstanding job on. But he understands where he is and where he needs to be, and we have to help him in that regard too. To a certain extent, I mean, you rely on a staff that has had experience dealing with different things and different people and situations, and that's always important when they can impart some of that, what they've learned, what they know, and share it with the staff and share it with me. So, and that's when you're talking about a staff that has experience, and we're trying to put the schemes and the systems together to be successful. I mean, there are some things that you wish you could have done right away and see the fruits of a lot of experience like that, but we are where we are now, and must continue to get better in that aspect. But having veteran coaches is definitely a plus. Part of the maturation process for David has been, sometimes you have to throw in windows. You can't always throw when you see a guy that's open, because by the time, with the way corners and safeties play now, by the time you see that he's open, the corners and safeties are looking at you as well. By the time you throw it, they're closing. And so to be able to anticipate throws based on coverages and position of defenders, that's an important element of the maturation process for a quarterback. And David made some great throws. He made some very accurate throws during the course of the game. And you just keep hoping that maturation process with him continues on. Because we know we play enough quarterbacks on other teams that are veteran quarterbacks, and you see that they've had the ability to be with schemes and systems for a while, how good they are. I believe David can do that. He's doing that. But, again, it's the processes as we're going along through the season. But, again, he's got to play his best game this Saturday against a very good Clemson team that is one of the top defenses in the ACC and in the country.